Hello, Greenlight the Day family. It is a pleasure once again to start the day, end the day, middle of the day with you. This is still a miraculous opportunity that I'm so glad to be a part of. And I just wanted to start off briefly thanking so many of you who bring up things that um, are so true to my life and true to my heart. This past week, different ones have brought up about how when you are going through changes in your life and you're trying to set your intentions, you seem to be challenged, you know. And I agree with that. I mean, the moment I started saying, I'm going to live my life of nonviolence, dealing mentally, physically, emotionally with people, I got all these challenges. And it's as if the universe is saying, practice, practice. I hear you saying it, but unfortunately, my love, my child, you are going to have to practice it, and this is going to be for the rest of your life. So I just wanted to acknowledge the intentions that you're setting for yourself, the struggles that you may be going through personally. You're not alone. You are a growing child. We are growing children of the universe. And as you get freer and lighter, you'll put those, what I want to say, challenges on a shelf and say, look, this is something that I've accomplished. So thank you so much for that. I wanted to share this amazing book that I have been trying to read for the past couple of years, but it just kept going in and out of my vision field, and it came back in. And it's by Paolo Coelho. It's called The Manuscript Found in Accra. And as you know, he's the gentleman that wrote The Alchemist. Okay, so it's sorta in the same vein. Basically, he was friends of a grandson of a famous explorer, archaeologist, who found a copy of a very important manuscript, and it was of a true event that happened in Jerusalem in the 11th century. The city was about to come under siege, and so what was happening the night before? And the Egyptian government agreed to let this man take it out of the country, and then the grandson gave it to Paulo Coelho, and he began to translate it and to write a book. I think it was the grandson or either the son. It was the son. It was Sir Walter's, and I think most people have heard of him. He was a famous explorer. It was Sir Walter's son. So this is about the night before defeat. So imagine yourself, you're in a city, you know that it's about to be destroyed. The troops are assembling everything outside the city. You only have a few choices of what you can do to survive, but you know that everything else is going to be lost. Everything. What do you do? And so that night before, the people were assembled in front of the wisest men of the city. One was a Greek, one was a Jew, one was a Muslim. Because, history does tell us that back in that time, people of all nations tended to get along for the most part. And what do you do? What do you talk about? What do you say? And I think about today. We think that we're so dissimilar from people of previous history, and really we're not. Maybe the scope is different. Right now we're dealing with climate change, we're dealing with wars, we're dealing with disease. This is the same thing that's been happening for centuries, just in a different scope. And I'm not trying to downplay what we live in today, because it is very tenuous, and if we think about it too long, it could definitely overwhelm us. But I think what it means is that is what history is about, and this is how we learn from history. So say that we are at this moment right now, and we know, actually there was this movie about this, and it's called Melancholia, which is, don't go see it, it's very depressing. Don't rent it, it's very depressing. Anyway, it's about what happens with these people, and they see this huge planet that's coming toward the earth, and it's going to hit the earth. There's no doubt about that. What they do the night before they die. This is what this reminded me of. And I don't want to take it in that context, but I want to take it in the context of what we do on a daily day. Because really each day is a gift. So what do we do on the day? So they're asking these wise men, what they should do. And the wisest man, he's a Greek man, he says, let's talk about your feelings. Let's talk about today. And of course, they're like, what? Are you kidding me? We're about to lose our lives, possibly. We're going to lose everything we own. We want some strategy here. And this guy was like, uh, he was like, let me find that page. Oh, if I can find it. He's like, we want to know what awaits us tomorrow. Wouldn't it be better to discuss how to negotiate for peace or prepare ourselves for a battle? That's what I would be thinking. And basically, this wise man says, we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Whatever happens, people who write history will let everybody know what happens. But what they really would want to know is how we faced the difficulty, how we spoke about it in our daily lives. That is the future. That is what those in the future will be interested in, because I don't believe very much will change in the next 1,000 years. He had that right. So he wants to tell them about defeat. And they're like, well, what about defeat? Nobody wants to talk about defeat. And he says, well, think about a leaf. A leaf falls from the tree, and it goes to the ground. And does it say, oh man, it's horrible, it's all over for me? The leaf realizes that it was there for spring, summer, and fall. It provided nutrients for humans. It provided shade. It provided color. It was so full of purpose. And it knows that when it goes back into the ground, it's going to be refertilized, go back into the tree roots, and come back again the next year. And he says that is defeat. He says, within a cycle, there are neither winners nor losers. There are only stages that must be gone through. When the human heart understands this, it is free and able to accept difficult times without being deceived by moments of glory. Both will pass. One will succeed the other. You cannot have defeat without the win, and the win without the defeat. The defeat is what makes the win. If there was not defeat, the win would not be so valuable. That is such a deep concept for me. He talks about that when you are defeated and you know that the winners, they go on to get the prize and they say all these things, and you don't get depressed about it, because then you are at an advantage. Why? Because at that point, you'll begin listening to the beating of your own heart, and you will consider your life and discover that despite the fear, that faith is still alive in your soul, driving you onward. You will work out what you did wrong and what you did right. You will take advantage of this moment of defeat to rest, heal your wounds, devise new strategies, and equip yourselves better. Because there will always be a new battle. A new battle knocks on the door, and you may be afraid, but you know that you will get up and face the opponent, remembering the suffering you endured and that you no longer wish to endure. And this time you will win, and the victory is not yours this time, it will be the next time. The important thing is to get back on your feet. And he says there are 3 things. Wait patiently for the right moment to act. Don't let the next opportunity slip you by, and take pride in your scars. And he says that scars are metals branded on the flesh. Your scars, your battles, are metals on your flesh. And that is so important, because I think we tend to hide those scars, or not to make them so big, or pretend they don't exist. But he said people who go into battle realize that if they see someone with scars, they know that this person has a history. This person has fought battles before. They have experience. So in most cases, you're not going to want to fight someone who has these medals, these badges of scars, because you know that they are powerful in their knowledge of what it's like to be defeated. And that power is what's going to get them to win. And so you try to negotiate with them, because you appreciate and you know the power of those scars and those badges of medals or badges that they wear proudly. And I think about this because we have all had those moments of lives where we were defeated. We got back up and we kept going. But we tend to hide that. And I think that we do a disservice to ourselves. And I think about those people that I've been around that seem weathered. Those are the people that I want to listen to. Those are the people that I appreciate. I mean, I tend to appreciate everyone. But someone that has a story to tell, we listen, right? So as you go through your day, be a little vulnerable. Don't be afraid to hide those scars. And I hope you have a good day, and I will talk to you later.